welcome back to the studio in Belgrade, ladies and gentlemen. This is e-frag TV. My name is Georgi Georgiev. Moving on, the second match of the day between Latvia and Montenegro. In the first match of the day, Bulgaria won against Serbia 2-0, 16-2 and 16-14. A close second match, but just enough for Bulgaria. Our analysts, Svojic and Dusan, hey guys.
Hello.
Going into the second match of the day, Latvia versus Montenegro, your thoughts?
Well, it should be an even matchup, I would say. I mean, out of all ex-EU countries, I mean, if Serbia won and if Montenegro wins, I wanted to say at the end of the day, you know, we have a chance to see all, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 countries? 5? You know, going through the second round, but Serbia already out. I mean, that doesn't mean that Montenegro can, you know, go through.
I'm counting, yeah, I'm counting.
I mean, Macedonia is already out, so
Yeah.
that's...
Oh, that's true.
Okay.
I totally
Oh, there's Macedonia
Yeah.
too, yeah.
That was the one missing.
Are
But
we
yeah,
counting Slovenia?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
They're still in it.
I mean, Slovenia is going to play against UK. Bosnia is going to play against Czech. I guess they're a favorite there, but
Yeah.
I think Montenegro, they have a good chance going through here. Although Latvia, I mean, they're shown that they're pretty good in that match against Albania.
The Montenegro besting out of Italy, managing to win against them, even though we thought that Italy was the favorite there, but
They didn't
No.
try hard enough.
yeah.
Yeah, and yeah.
You're still gonna force
Wow,
that thing.
I
that,
just-
that's
You
okay.
gotta be consistent, you know.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine.
No, I mean, actually, I was the only one kind of favoring Italy. Even I wasn't favoring Italy that much, just on the first map. But I mean, we knew how much skill and firepower will Montenegro bring to that matchup, and same goes here. I mean, we have Lobanica or Lobanica or however you want to pronounce it, that's playing in
Lobanica, I think
Lobanica.
that's the right way to say it.
Yeah, the guy that's playing in FPL, and we said in the earlier matchup, like FPL really helps players grow. Although this might not be.
Although he had -1 against Italy.
Yeah, that's the funny part. I mean, when we were watching, like he was playing good, but at the end I was watching the stats and he's like -1. Like what happened? But on the other hand, the Bark stepped up really big in that matchup, and yeah, I would favor Montenegro here just a little bit.
Latvia won against Albania in the previous round, the previous, let's say, phase. Montenegro better than Italy. Okay, going straight to the lineup of Latvia. Yep.
Yeah, for Latvia, I think actually for both countries we're going to see exact same lineups as they had in the first match. Latvia is going to be Lucian, Image, Kree, or Cry, I guess, Perledin and Flerich. We saw them against Albania. They won 16-10 on cash, 16-7 on Dust 2. Perledin was quite good. I think he was our man to watch in that matchup.
And Image were great.
Perledin plus 14, Image on that ALUP plus 16. So those are the two guys that should make a difference for Latvia. I think out of all of them, yeah, it was a 2-0 and kind of convincingly. So out of all the guys, I think only Lucian was kind of lacking in that fragging department, which, you know, fragging is not everything. So
Basically, the player to watch here: Paladin, Image, Lucian.
you could say one of the two, but
Yeah.
let's say Image.
Yeah.
You know, we'll have to pick out those
The
AWPs.
AWPs, right?
Yeah. Somehow it always ends up on a AW.
I mean, basically, that is your role.
Yeah.
I mean, you are supposedly to be, you're supposed to be
difference maker there,
the difference maker, right? The one that makes the plays, or the one that's going to secure one part of the
Yeah.
map. You know, that is your job as an opera. So
Going straight to the lineup of Montenegro, do they have the same lineup as they had in the previous match?
I think they do, and the squad is Gigi, Lobanica. Yeah, I'm just.
Why are you having second doubts about it?
I mean, it's-
you know what it means. It's
Yeah, I know what it
Serbian.
means, but like he himself, I think he said he wants to be like Lobanica. Okay.
who cares what he
Yeah,
said?
of course. Maiden, RT1, and Bark. And as I previously mentioned, like Bark is a really young player. Couple of them are actually.
Bark is 16, Maiden is 17 years old,
We'll see here
and
now, yeah.
RT is 20.
Yeah,
So there you go.
Maiden and Bark, two young players, really playing good. really playing good in that first match against Italy. Bark with good stats overall, Maiden as well. I mean, they overpowered Italy really easily, and I was a bit surprised by that. I thought Italy could do much more damage, but we saw at the end not taking more than 17 rounds into two maps. It was a bit of a one-sided affair, I'm afraid, but we see here them today, Montenegro against Latvia. I don't think it's going to be the same thing against Italy, and I think Lobanica should step up in this match.
Do you definitely agree that Lobanica is a player to watch here?
I mean, we said it in the first matchup. He didn't deliver, and honestly, out of these 5 guys, I played with Gigi couple of times. I played with Lobanica. I expected more from them because you see it. They are the oldest ones. They are the experienced ones. As Dusan said, Lobanica plays at FPL, so he should be up there. But honestly, in that match against Italy, Bark was he was not carrying them. Gigi was our man of the match because he had some clutch kills. But all in all, I mean, having only 16 years and carrying your nation.
Milovan, I love this. Yeah,
and carrying your nation with only 16, I mean, he's a young talent, and I think we should point him out.
And just to be clear, like the one thing I really like about these World Championships is how many young talent we see coming up from different countries. True. Like we had that guy from Guatemala. I just forgot how he's
13.
Yeah, I know he's 13, but
Mario something.
Yeah.
Marbs.
Marbs. Yeah, that was the nickname.
He had a name, but Mario. Yeah, him. Then we see here Bark. A lot of young players stepping up. Even X. I mean, he's
maybe they should all assemble a team. You know, like the
who knows?
young
Youngsters
talents.
versus the oldsters.
No.
Old-timers.
No, I mean just the youngsters to make a team, assemble a team, and I'm kidding.
Have a
like
show match.
they should be like a rising stars. Oh, we have a rising stars league. There you go.
Yeah.
Wow, that was so
smooth.
so accidentally.
So
Yeah, happened accidentally. Yeah, we had a player to watch going straight into veto. Best of 3. Team needs 2 maps in order to go through the second stage of the qualifying rounds. Let's see what they picked and what they banned. Traditionally, usually, Montenegro bans what first?
We'll see.
Probably
both nations played Cash in their first matches, and Latvia played Dust2. Besides that Cash, on the other side, Montenegro played Mirage. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Cash, Mirage, and Dust2 here.
I mean, the third map in the first Latvia.
Well, there you go.
Out of the way.
That was the pick for Latvia.
That was the pick.
And they won it 16-7 against Albania. So I guess Montenegro, recognizing that could be trouble for them, removing that Dust2 right away. We'll see what Latvia decides to ban. It's going to be Cobblestone. Okay, pretty standard, you could say. And now the first pick for Montenegro.
Probably Cash.
Will it be?
Probably Cash.
It will be Cash. I think Gigi played really well on that Cash. That was the part of the reason why we picked him as our man of the match. And as we said, Bark, he was good throughout the match. And well, there you go. Maybe we won't see Dust2, but the first 2 maps will be Cash and Mirage.
I mean, the Mirage was the third map that Latvia could have played against Albania, but they won.
True.
Hey, we have
2-0,
Nuke,
But
we
then
have
again,
Train, and we have Overpass.
Montenegro won Mirage
don't
against
have
Italy
Overpass.
16-8, so you should take.
Yeah, no. I'm just.
Yep. Overpass
Heads
going.
up, Nuke is alive still.
Yeah, I don't think it will be alive much longer.
And there he goes.
Yep.
I mean, the most common map out of all these 3 is the Train.
What?
I mean, looking at those 3 last maps, the Train is the most commonly played.
Yep.
I mean, we have some games on Overpass, but not as much. Nuke, we have no games on Nuke. So, I mean, Train is that, let's say,
we've
the
seen
4th
Train
map.
today, a great pick by Serbia, losing 16-2.
The same goes to Slovenia as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
great picks.
it looks like
at least we had something.
Yeah, I mean, we had something.
I mean, prepared, not
Yeah,
we had some smokes. We
The
had
thing
some.
is that first round that they did is the same round that iNation did at the LAN finals,
and the same round they did in the first matchup.
Yeah, in the first. I mean,
when we talk about Montenegro and Latvia, the nation and Bulgaria, the match is about to start. I want to hear your opinion. Now we have the maps. Cash first, Mirage second, and if needed, Train. Your thoughts?
Going into the match, before we knew the maps, I would say this is a 50-50 matchup. Anyone can take it. It depends only, if a certain player is fired up, getting all the shots, getting all the headshots. But
Sounds
after,
yeah.
after getting the maps, I think the first two maps go in favor of Montenegro, at least in my mind. But if it comes to that third map, Image could play a really big role because he's that hopper for Latvia and Montenegro. They don't really have a standout hopper.
Yeah,
Lobanica picks up an op here and there, but I don't think he's like the dedicated hopper like Image. So I mean, if Montenegro, in my opinion, if Montenegro is gonna take this one, they need to take it 2-0, or at least, or if it goes 1-1, I think they could be in trouble.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Swoj's thoughts. I mean, yeah, I think coming into this matchup it was a 50-50. Now two these two maps, I would say 70-30 to Montenegro, and I think they need to win the first two maps. And yeah, Image really did have a huge role with that op on Cash and us too. Both maps he was great with it. So I mean, if it comes to train, and we know that on train op can make a difference, I'm just not so sure in Montenegro's chances on that map. But having that being said, Cash and Mirage, two first maps, I think Montenegro has that.
Also, the two maps they played against Italy, so I mean, I think this veto stage went pretty well for them.
Yep. Before we keep on talking about the duel Latvia versus Montenegro, maybe this is just the right time to see what happened in the European qualifiers so far. We have the qualifier round number 1 first and the second stage, and I hope this is just the opportunity to see what happened so far. So you see, we had 48 nations in total. Right now we're down to 16 and plus 24 if I'm not mistaken, so 24 teams in total, 8 teams already in the second qualifying round, waiting for 8 teams to come from this first round. We already see that Turkey, Croatia, Bulgaria went through, so we're waiting just for the rest of the pairs to play their matches, and we have 8 top nation teams, I would say, in the third actually qualifying round of the European qualifiers, and 3 teams that will advance to the LAN finals. Talking about the 3 teams, your favorites, I want to hear which 3 teams do you think will qualify from the European qualifiers?
Again, yeah.
We'll see. I mean, when you start to think about it, of course, Sweden is up there, France is up there. But then again, I mean, we mentioned it, a couple of countries that, you don't usually, of course, Denmark and Poland and like that, but I mean, the dark horses could be Ukraine, Russia, Bosnia, Finland.
Yeah.
I mean, easy for us.
Finland.
But then again,
we forgot about Finland a little bit.
Yeah, but
I mean, that's a bit of a stretch, but then again, I don't see why not.
If Bosnia can do it, why not Finland?
Yeah, but
I know they have a superstar, I know they have Nico, but come on.
And a couple of their players, Bosnian players, are really good in comparison to some of the players in Finland or on ENS, and we saw that. I mean, they did have a good idea about it. You should see his face. Just look at it. Yeah.
I'm like who?
You should just see his face.
No?
Okay.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna go up with those two up against Zardi or some players from ENS, I mean,
I would still pick the Finns.
Really?
Yeah. I don't see anything special about, but I mean, they're good.
No, I mean,
it's not like they're bad.
I'm not saying either of those two teams are bad, but
you got him confused.
Sorry.
Come on,
no,
don't
I mean,
do that.
not confused, but like thinking about it, both teams didn't do anything special. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but what do you say about Sweden now?
Yeah, talking about favorites, let's go.
That was interesting. Some comments appeared, now with the Fnatic lineup split up into 2, basically. The possibility is there to get like the full Fnatic from 7 days ago.
Yeah, do you think that
I don't think that's plausible, but it's possible.
I just feel like Pronex has to come. I mean, he's been here for
Him and
two times.
assists, right?
Yeah,
Two
and
times.
I think he's just the type of in-game leader that you need, like for this competition. Like he can do everything with basically 4 other players that are from basically every other team, and he's that type of a game leader that could call strats on the go, not have anything specially prepared. Just the guys that he plays with know the smokes, and he can manage.
Are you calling Godsend top 1 right now?
In a couple of months, yeah.
Okay.
Wow, that's boldy.
Why not? I mean,
that's
there's
boldy.
Write this down,
Yeah.
like the prediction,
Okay,
please.
I'll write somewhere
This
down.
is worth like a pack of beer.
It will worth a
Wow.
couple of points in our competition
Okay,
that we have.
okay.
Yep, I'll write it down. So,
Do you
I
get
don't think
like
it's gonna be over. by then.
Dusan said.
I said a couple
Date.
of months, but like
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah, you gonna stick to that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, in a couple of months, even some other teams can be on top, but everything can change. But I think honestly,
you
Godsend
can't get away
Let's
with
get
it.
back.
No, honestly, Godsend has a good chance.
You just keep digging your own
Back
grave,
to
and that's-
Montenegro
yeah,
and
back to
Latvia.
Montenegro and Latvia. Latvia just won the 9th round, if I heard correctly, and picked the CT side. Yep. You seem confused.
Yeah.
Cash
Yeah,
is first,
Cash.
right? Picking the
Okay.
city side on cash, if you can get 6, 7, 8, win the half,
That's
convincing.
what Serbia did.
That's what Serbia. I was just about to say that.
I mean, you should be able to win cash. So
Especially when you lead 14-6.
I mean, not
And you
sure
don't
if
lose 10 rounds
Latvia.
in a
Finish
row.
up the map.
Yeah. Sorry.
I don't
Maybe
know.
not lose 10 in a row.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
I'm gonna still stick with Montenegro, even though Latvia picked that city side. I think Montenegro cash T side being the stronger side on cash these days. I think Montenegro can take this, and I'm gonna say 16-9 for cash in favor of
In favor of
Montenegro.
Montenegro, and sorry, 2-0 you said.
Yeah.
that's the same thing they did against them.
Nice.
That's not fair.
Dusan,
I'm gonna go 16-10.
in favor of?
Montenegro. Of course.
Montenegro. Both of you favoring Montenegro. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the first map between Latvia and Montenegro is about to start. Cash is a map that will be played and picked by Montenegro. Your casters for this match are Skroni and Milos the Medic. Take us away, guys.
Hello, boys, and welcome back to another best of 3. As mentioned this time, Latvia, Montenegro. You guys did just miss the 9th round, of course, but it will be Montenegro on the T side, Latvia starting off on CT. Now, straight out the gates, I do want to mention, obviously, with the map pick, our analysts favoring that Montenegro side, and I think that may have actually been favoring them just because those two maps are incredibly similar. With mid being a crucial component of the map for going for split onto sites, in that case, I think that Montenegro could be very comfortable in both of these first two maps.
Yeah, we see them actually doing that a few days ago versus Italy, so they're very strong in terms of that map control. But Cree getting 2 headshots in a row here, really going to slow them down. Definitely putting the favor of the match so far for the Latvian side. 3 players.
Lubanitsas coming in from Squeaky, though, just trying to apply some pressure now. He does have that Tech 9, no armor, and another frag. It's going to be Cry to grab another. Now Preliden also chiming in with a headshot of his own. So Bark, the last man standing, suddenly found alone. Preliden just rotating down towards mid in the nick of time to grab the final headshot, and it will be Latvia with a clean sweep of the pistol round. Very good opportunity for them to grab this very early momentum.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're going into the site. You already lost 2 players because you couldn't get as aggressive as you would like to, which is where really Montenegro was shining versus the Italians a few days ago, and where I would expect them to be playing so well. They couldn't get too close to the CT players, use the aggressive power of the Glock 18 to their advantage, and that was basically it for them. They couldn't really pull this one off. Now, Latvia, I love their investment into the MP7 and WMPs. They're going to nullify everything that has to do with the armor that Montenegro put so much cash into.
Ooh, but Image starting to get tagged down here, caught off guard with his back turned to the opponent. He'll be dropped to 57 points of health, and as you did mention, Milos, we do still have a bit of a buy here for Montenegro. They've got that Kevlar, they've got their pistols, and even a bit of utility. With the smoke and flash on Bark, Artie and Gigi also equipped with some flashbangs, they could definitely take some map control, but it will be Flaric to come flying through B main, grab 2 easy headshots. Lucian doing the same with his elsewhere on the map. and now Lobanica also falling. Leaves Bark again the last man standing, and of course with so much versus him, he is not able to accomplish too much. Latvia not even losing a single player, so not only destroying their opponent, but saving themselves all the cash possible. A very easy light investment here into the third round, where Montenegro will more than likely have absolutely nothing other than, of course, a couple P250s. So again, Latvia can with the momentum from the pistol. This one should be another easy conversion point.
Yeah, and I love how Latvia is handling this by just going, sticking to the UMPs in their second round bye. Is so strong. Cree with a beautiful nade here, taking down 2-player in the spray downs coming in from Cree and Prelli. Cree, he is just on fire. I mean, you'll call him a cry, but that's basically what Montenegro are doing right now versus this guy. It is impossible to shake him down.
Solid hold, I mean, obviously versus the anti-eco as expected, but that nade, just so much damage, so much of an early stoppage. At that point, because those first few players out of the smoke are shut down, the guys behind them on the follow-up are already being expected from those defenders. Easy cleanup to follow. So Latvia, they are the winner of the pistol rounds and the 2 conversions. No hiccups, no speed bumps. Moving forward, Montenegro now on their rifles with a, the Galil on Artie. So there is a bit of a limitation here economically, not to mention a limitation in grenades. And now with Fleric able to find the first frag, of course using that smoke inside the mid doors to find a player caught off guard. It will be Bark dropped early. Artie on the entry, try, Cree, able to stop and nearly lines up another double, but instead he stops at 2. Preliden as well from the top of the ladder, able to grab another frag, and Lobanica so low that he is cleaned up effectively. And that's 3 players standing here for Latvia, winning the first rifle round and continuing this momentous start.
Yeah, and if you see how Montenegro try to get on the site in their push, there was almost no real use of their utility. There's no sight blocking for the CTs. They had perfect vision over there. Cree got those 2 kills, almost turned it into a third. If you're not lining up your grenades correctly and able to use the set pieces to your advantage, then the CTs it's basically running into a line of fire, and the crossfire will eventually overwhelm you very easily. The smoke, though, into A-main, very good for the CTs here, but this delays the T's more and more, and their smoke into quad is even more nullified, because now they don't really have anything but a single pop flash to play with.
Absolutely. Lobanica getting close as well on the other side of the squeaky. So they're making noise here. Latvia definitely aware of the presence of their opponents. Preliden still standing behind the fork waiting for the shot, but Lobanica just teasing, not yet rounding the corner. The first frag will go the way of Cree as he finds the headshot to Madden. Leiden dropping Bark as well. That's 2 here for the defense. Latvia with a third. And a fourth as GG goes down. That's the bomb and the last player standing. Again, a very solid hold here on the A site from Latvia. Very solid crossfire play. And as you mentioned, the grenades definitely nullifying those of their opponents. We saw it earlier in the previous round when they had used that middle smoke to their own advantage, getting aggressive, laying down the smokes in A main, potentially to do the same thing, but obviously versus that eco, they wanted to be nowhere near Montenegro. They keep their distance and they grab themselves another round.
Yeah, and this round is super important for the Montenegrins here, because they really do need to put this round in. Latvia, if they take this round as easily as they have before with minimal losses and not a single bomb plant, this is just going to mean that Cree is going to even get higher in catch of all of his teammates. Cree, speaking of that, 1-2, almost gets the third. Finally going down to GG.
Now Preliden still standing on the back of quad, though. He is here to support. Bark not able to get through the smoke, and Lucian going upper, going to find the frag. Fleric on the site to deny the bomb planter. That leaves just Bark now in the 1v3. Of course, he is already on the site with a frag as well. Preliden drops, and yet the trades do come through. It is Latvia with a 6th, and they do continue this pattern. Very solid hold, although that one a little bit shakier than what we've seen previously. Only 2 players from Latvia still standing at the end of the 6th. They'll, of course, be able to easily repurchase here, but Montenegro making a bit of progress.
And this is what I was waiting for from Latvia. The AWP being picked up, obviously now we're talking about Image being a pretty decent hopper for his team. Montenegro are not the kind of team to really pick up an AWP. There's no dedicated hopper for them. And we even saw that with the game versus Italy, with none of the 2 teams really going for that, heavy op dedication kind of style. I'll have to see where really Image can put his damage down. He is holding down mid. Now, there's a possibility of extra kills to come down. Mid-map control is being slightly challenged by the T's. They're trying to find an opener here, because obviously pushing an objective all on their own is just not working up at all, which is pure aggression.
Bark now going wide off the peak. He will spot 2 players, but takes a shot to the chest. Image with that mentioned op, able to find a refrag here, and the advantage that Montenegro had procured has now been robbed. And to their detriment, Lucian grabs another frag. That's going to be Lobanitsa, who tries to apply some pressure towards mid, but again, is caught in a penalty for it. So now it will be Fleric on the back of the B site, currently with Image here to support from Heaven. This op, again, in a position to have an impact on the round. There's 45 seconds left, in Montenegro making their way towards the B site. Artie about to round the corner. They will have support from that backyard position, but that's Gigi, the bomb carrier, who will be forced eventually to move on up. Employing nades on the site, however, will start to limit the positioning of the defense, and Image missing the first shot. Artie going wide, yet there's the brief peak, and Madden drops. Now Image, he needs to be cautious here, can't go down. Fleric able to chime in as Image has to reload. The op's not in play, but Gigi, the last man standing, is dealt with swiftly.
Very smart play from Image there. You know, a lot of people like to peek against, like, get too greedy, want to go for the kill. No, Image is calm and collected. He's going to go for the 2 kills, then pull back into Heaven. They know exactly where the last player is. There's no need to be over-aggressive and just GG to finish him off, or to be finished off at the end there. Latvia currently dominating Montenegro completely, and Montenegro barely able to scrape out a bye with little to no accessories to play around here with, and already most of the grenades being expended. There we go. Perlinden with the first one gets a bit hit by his teammate, but already good control of the Latvian side.
Image and Fleric also grabbing some frags. Arby still standing in towards checkers. Will finally return the favor. A bit of an answer here from Montenegro, but quickly dealt with as Artie drops, and so does Madden. A very good rotation towards that B site from Latvia in order to curb the push of their opponent. Now, in that round and the rounds previous, we have to say, at least we have seen some dynamic plays coming from Montenegro. They tried the A site. They tried it with the set pieces. They tried it with a bit more of a sloppy push. Now, the previous round, they go for that wall of smokes mid. Also, in the previous one before that, we saw the B split using the window for nades. So definitely a dynamic T side, but still not paying off with any rounds.
Yeah, what they still have, oh, nice shot from Bart there, expecting flares behind the smoke, but what they still have not done is a multi-pronged attack onto an objective, and this is what I want to see them, like, going through, getting mid-map control, which is super important for the terrorists, and then trying to go for a pincer movement onto A, onto B, holding off those sites. Super important to just get on it at the beginning, then find your post-plant positions, and I'm really curious to see if they even have that down as well, or will it just be another linchpin for them.
You're absolutely right. The mid control is so important, and obviously with Mirage in the near future, that mid control is so crucial. So for Montenegro to start getting that ball rolling here on Cash, they would only be preparing themselves for the next map, and it will be Lobanitsa with the first frag. That's going to clear off White Box. Highway now a viable push. Now you mentioned we hadn't seen any multi-pronged attack, and yet this round could be exactly that. We could maybe have the answer, but keep your eyes on Perliden, currently sitting inside the vent. At any moment, he can turn and shut down this mid push. Nobody really keeping eyes, not expecting him, and now it is his time to shine. He's going to grab the first one. Lobanitsa drop. Bomb rotating back towards A, though. We do see Latvia with a player on each site still trying to hold the line, and Image now giving up the B position to rotate onwards. Artie going to find the pick on mid, however. This creating a very difficult position for Cree to be in. 1 versus 4 on the site. No, he has support. Image has rotated, and the push now comes.
Yeah, they are so afraid here in Montenegro. They have 10 seconds to go. They have to go for these kills or get in the objective because there's no... There we go. Finally, the bomb has been planted. GG at the last second able to do it. Already turning around, take it down Cree after he shuts down Bark. And only leaves Image with that AWP left on his own. GG frantically trying to search for a rifle to play around with. But you know what? That P250 is pretty sick to use as well. And the AWP pickup here is super important. I have not seen Montenegro use an op at all, so I want to see if Lobanitsa can actually turn his good rifling play that we saw in the past few rounds, being top frag on his team as well, into an actual rifle skill with maybe a boost at the beginning to challenge Image.
Definitely going back to that mid control. I mean, it worked out in the previous round, just as we mentioned that is what they needed to do. So nice for Montenegro to get a point on the board, and now, as you mentioned, move forward with that op. But Lobanitsa is going to be tagged out early, dropped to 75. Flarich as well, currently on the top of the smoke, towards B to find the first. Artie dropping early, and now Montenegro, unfortunately for them, at that one-man disadvantage. Now, Flarich does get lit in that engagement, drop down to under half. He is now a soft spot for the defense, but he plays it smart, falls on back towards the B site, takes a more passive angle for the time being. Montenegro still trying to take mid.
Put in a pretty good spot here to counter anybody who wants to go through mid. They have perfect angles right on that warehouse, and anybody who wants to get up top onto the boost, which is what Montenegro is really thinking about, and saying, oh, well, you know, that mid-map control was working out very well for them, and they were able to go eventually for a multi-pronged attack. Lobanitsa, however, only able to tag Image down to 15 health. The AWP still in play, but man, sick headshot on Lucian shuts him down. Image, though, still yet to be dealt with, as Lobanitsa is just eyeballing back to quad with his AWP. Prelude, though, regaining control of mid here. He's trying to roll around the box, takes someone down, spots the last in warehouse. Won't be able to take him out.
Bark gets that refrag, keeps it back to the 2v3. Health currently low on the side of Latvia. Both Image and Fleric are incredibly lit here, and both currently on opposite sides of the map. So it does come down to Kree, who goes wide for the peak, and he gets the spray, the double, while fully flashed. Phenomenal individual performance from the back of the site there from Kree. When his team needed him to step up as the fully healthed opponent, he does exactly that. Another round for Latvia, going to be resetting the economy of Montenegro. A very difficult spot to find themselves in, but they'll have to bite the bullet. They're going to grab some Kevlar here into round number 11. They do still have some upgraded pistols and at least one smoke flash to try and work with, but can they take mid with such a limited arsenal? That is really the question. It has been the key to their success.
And this is the thing with the pistols as well. Very similar situation to the Glocks. You have to be up close and personal to really do the damage. So it relies on cornering and overwhelming the CT players, cornering one or two of them at a time, and really trying to force them out, take them out one by one. And the way that the CTs are obviously being forced to split around the map to defend it really lends to the build, if you will, to use a StarCraft term, to really run with these pistols on this site. Now, CTs are going to be pushed back by the smoke coming in, but they do have to go for the eliminations here. And already Montenegro losing 2-3 of their players, and this is not boding well.
Bomb's going to be trying to be planted here, but Artie not able to get it in as Perliden does push and finds the frag. Image to clear things up. GG drops last. Now, again, two players for the side of Latvia, incredibly lit, but a very nice reaction from the Latvian side. The second that there's any pressure being applied to that A site, they know that the forklift smoke not only blocks them off, but actually allows for them to rotate out from behind red box towards that highway position, and then it is from there that they actually find the frags, of course from the top of Catwalk as well, and then from those positions they just easily retake that A site. So A site being one of the sites here on cache that can be given up from the CT perspective in order to retake it more easily. It is very difficult for Montenegro to hold on in that position, and they don't even get the opportunity as the bomb never goes down. But they do find themselves in another buy round here. Only Lobanitsa sitting on that Tech 9, everybody else fully equipped. Of course, the Galil, a bit of a limitation, as is the health of Artie, but still some utility to play with here for Montenegro. They're going to be taking this one slowly, spreading themselves thin, and really trying to retain some map control. With Artie inside that checkers position, they do have a bit of information and knowledge gathering happening at the B site. Lucian making noise mid, though, with the first frag. That's going to be to the advantage of Latvia, who take it down another. Image with the shot already dropped, and now the A push as well, meeting some resistance.
GG left all on his own. He's going to try to push in. He's cornered from every angle. He gets the shot on the Kree, being dunked down, or dinked by down to 13. But here we go. Now he's going to get dunked by Lucian. And this is the thing. When we saw Artie, that was on checkers on B, he said, you know, he obviously heard the player that was moving around in mid. He knows that there's two players on B. Why did he peek out? He could have just stayed there, delayed them, left it to his other teammates to just get on A, because they realized there's a maximum of only two players there. Could have played just off of that audio, you know, the quote-unquote sound whoring type of play, which would have really helped out Montenegro in this situation. Sadly, though, they do get cornered out and back on these pistols. The P250s, again, it's all about overwhelming.
Still, though, this A site being held with a nice crossfire. No smokes down, but Bark with the first headshot. Lucian going to respond back with a headshot of his own, and Perliden lines them up, knocks them down. Madden helping him out as he does Wandig, his teammate, followed up by Leiden, and then of course Lucian on the rotation able to find the last. So again, a very solid hold from Latvia, very minimal losses. Once more, 3 players standing will be an easy rebuy. Of course, we can see the economy currently for the side of the CT is so so fundamentally strong. $16,000 sitting on Image, as after everyone on the team has everything they could possibly purchase. This is a solid economy moving forward from Latvia, and they are in a very good position to potentially 14-1. There is only 2 rounds left in this half.
And this is the thing, Image has only 5 frags, but he's on 16k because of the wins, obviously, but because he's not overexposing, playing very, very smart. As soon as it got that EWP in hand, especially, Kree here held up on the boost inside of A-main here, able to take down Lobanitsa. Very good to take out the player that has been the linchpin of any sort of play that Montenegro wants to go for. Prolidin, though, gonna get taken down by GG and turns into a 3v4, but Montenegro's Bark is down to 56% health, and you have to put that AWP in such a good position to actually be able to exploit it correctly and not lose it out, because that is a huge investment for them.
Of course, now Bark just holding in towards that A main. Again, as you mentioned, playing it.
Ooh,
Madden.
sick.
What a headshot. Going to be dropping Lucian, who did take that aggressive angle, was peeking out, and he costs him his life. So suddenly, just like that, Montenegro able to bring it back to the equalized 3v3. The bomb's still down, though, and the time is ticking. They do just have over 30 seconds to get the ball rolling. It looks like it will be the ace strike, as GG does procure that highway control. And, of course, Bark on the off, looking for the pick into the site. But GG catching the player rotating. It is Kree to drop, and now the Opper also dealt with. Image does take one, but again, the Opper from Montenegro able to trade back effectively. Flarich now in the 1v2. Of course, as we mentioned, Bark is lit. GG still on the site and quite well health. He has a flash on his back and lots of utility here from the CT in the attempt of the 1v2. Not to mention the kit. Now he spots the shadow. GG knows exactly where he is, though. Flarich does the same. We see A main starting to respond. Bark caught in the open. Actually miscommunication. Flarich with the 1v2. I thought for sure they knew his positioning, but what a phenomenal clutch here. Somehow closes the distance, does not or gets himself into a position where the opponents do not expect him, and then cleans up that op with ease. Solid clutch.
You know this thing, Scrawny, where, you know, if you're playing especially with RTSs but with FPSs as well, there's sometimes buttons that you don't want to click, so you just take off the button off of your keyboard.
Yeah.
Basically, all the Montenegro players right now, I really hope that they've removed the 2 Alt and F4, because this is not working out for them at all. That was terrible, to say the least.
Unfortunate. Definitely that Opper being scoped in, stuck there. If he had a rifle, then that would have been spotted so much quicker. But, of course, that's what she wrote. Montenegro denied of that second round, even though they were in such a strong position to grab it. Latvia, again, showing their dominance. Now leading by 12, and this is the final round of the half. Of course, Montenegro looking for maybe 2. That would be a silver lining, to say the least, of this very bad situation. But nonetheless, Image with the first kill is already does try to push on towards the site. 2 players for Latvia here on the B site itself. Bark gonna deal with the first, re-smoke that tree room, as Prolided does rotate up through heaven. He does still have Flarich to support on the back of the site, but Flarich, after finding one's been spotted, and it will be Madden with the response. Leiden as well from heaven, able to grab another frag here, but it's an aggressive peek from Bark as opposed to going for the bomb plant. He does take the duel, tags the player down. He's still sitting in a 2v2 here, but utility mostly expended for both teams.
Yeah, but I love that Molly actually taking down Bark pretty low, and they know exactly where he is, so they can just zone him out. If they really want to, they can go for the pop flash, as Kree still has that in hand, but it's all about the team communication here. Where do they want to flash? Do they want to take Bark out? No, they won't be able to do so. Kree all on him, but Bark is so low. He is going to get taken down at the end, and Kree yet again saving the day. Just the last second, he is 23-6. I mean, this guy has so many stars. It's like playing, you know, it's like you're at kindergarten and everybody's just giving you these stars to put on your face all the time. This is.
Now I'm just picturing Kree sitting at his computer with stickers all over his head.
If he makes it to LAN and, you know, we go there, which would be pretty sick, then I'm gonna just bring those star stickers. I'm gonna stick them on his head just for the comedic effect. That would be pretty cool to do. Not that kind of guy.
That sounds good, but I think it's a bit of a cliche to say, although incredibly true. This pistol, definitely important. Montenegro,
yes,
if they want any chance of still being in this game, if you do believe that exists, then this is the round to do it. And I mean, they do still have themselves a solid buy. No utility. They're going for that safe Kevlar play. Lobanica intelligent enough to grab a kit in case Latvia do find themselves onto the bomb site. Now, if they do, it's going to be B. We do see the push coming on through here. Very little utility, and the first frag going the way of Montenegro. It's going to be Lobanica to grab the first. Lucian with a bit of a response here, but the push still strong. 2 players closing into the site. Lobanica with another, and it is Fleric still managing to get himself there, but not for long as he is dropped 1v2. Lucian still alive, but only on 5 points of health.
Yeah, Lobanica definitely looking for the ace here to go on a HLTV montage or something. Madden looking to boost his teammate. This is a really sick strat here. Lucian is so low on health, he can't afford a peek without getting the entry shot, and oh my god, he actually does it. Everybody is just 1 bullet away from dying. He might just go for a spray shot, but oh, there we go. Lobanica will get the ace and save the day for Montenegro. I mean, at this point, we should just have all rounds be pistol rounds, because this was pretty sick for Montenegro. Usually, you know, on B side, we're talking about A before, where it gives the CTs the ability to pull back and go for a quick retake, or before the Ts actually go for the plant. Here in Montenegro, as soon as they saw Latvia coming in, they pulled back just a bit and then rushed them out completely, and just with pure skill. Lobanica obviously hitting those headshots, just pretty sick to see.
They gave Latvia a false sense of hope, thinking, of course, that they were able to push on forward, and then immediately the defense hot on their heels. So very nice play there from Lobanica to come on quickly to the flank and then clear things up when it did get scary. Now, just to remember, 19 points of health combined between the 3 players still standing at the end of that pistol. So just goes to show you how incredibly close Montenegro did escape by just the skin of their teeth. But this round, of course, they do have the stronger buy. It is Armor Tech 9's slash P250 coming in from Latvia, and now setting up for the A take. It will be held by mostly umps, but also some rifles here. Lucian going to be on the point, on the chart, moving on over towards that red. He finds the first headshot, already dropped Madden, though, from the back of Squeaky. Able to find a response, but only for just a moment as Kree grabs another kill, and now the bomb will be planted. It is still 4v3, but 2 of those rifles have been dropped. Bart with a headshot onto Kree, going to retain some more map control with another frag. This is looking good. Montenegro starting to close the distance, still with that kit on their back. GG again has the flash, but Fleric from Squeaky position, catching another quad in an engagement. GG trying to help, who grabs the headshot. Now it's all on Fleric, who grabs another kill. Down to the 1v1 as Lobanica taps the bomb. He's trying to get the defuse through, but there's just no time. Playing the door, Fleric forcing his hand. He gets the kill, back to the defuse, but is there time?
This is going to be last second, and he'll actually do it. Lobanica, nice play at the end there. I mean, you realize if you want to click E all day, it's not going to work out, so he just sprayed with the MP7. And it was actually a really smart decision to go for the MP7 at that point, because you will just overpower with the sheer rate of fire. Really, really smart decision making. And that's where you start to see the, it weeds out the better players from the not so good, because you have to have that split-second decision making in a clutch situation. And Latvia almost taking the round there. They're not too sad about it, though. Well, they got the bomb plant. They got quite a few kills. Next round, they're going to have a lot to play around with, but Madden, you're holding off the side. High Blue Door will take down everybody from Team Latvia.
That's the round that they absolutely needed. I mean, as you mentioned, right? Latvia not too upset about the previous round number 17, because if you're going to lose a round, then having a bomb plant and only 1 opponent left standing is literally the best case scenario.
Yes.
Obviously, maybe if the bomb explodes and you take him down, but still so close to being perfect. Latvia happy with that. In the previous round, though, round 18, 4 players surviving for Montenegro. That's what they needed in order to bounce back economically. So, again, both teams dealing damage to the opponent, and then at the same time managing to come out in a healthy state nonetheless. So, a nice full buy here from the CT forces. Other than that one FAMAS on Artie, not too many real limitations. Now, there is also no op in play at the time being, but you did mention, Milos, that neither of these teams really do seem to rely too heavily on that gun.
Yeah, not at all. For what we've seen right now, it's only really Latvia that likes to go for the AWP, and Image definitely able to carry his weight in terms of zoning as well. But neither of the teams are really relying on the AWP for a sick play or holding off a site completely with the op on its own. So it's not really that big an important position for any of the two. But pretty good usage of the boost here. Nobody really expect them up there.
Yeah, speaking of positions, using that Shroud boost to find the first, and now Lobanica from a very off angle, crouching behind the small ramp of Z Connector. Very solid kill towards Fleric also not able to trade until now, where he grabs the headshot onto Artie, who did get a little bit aggressive there trying to peek it, but he did have Lobanica to trade. Well, it is Fleric alive and standing, not penalized for that frag. Montenegro with a one-man advantage until the moment I mention it. Fleric with another, but this time, luckily, for Montenegro, they're able to clear him out. So 3 versus 2, still capable of holding on to that man advantage, but GG on the B site alone for the time being. Leiden and Kree starting to close the distance, and they clear him out with ease. Leiden also working his way to the back of the site now. That's going to be a bomb plant. Kree keeping his eye on towards heaven. This is where the rotation comes through. Madden applying some pressure. No utility now, but has to wait for the smoke to fade. His teammate Bark, though, still standing as both players do drop. It's back to the 1v1. Kree, Bark, they know each other's position, and there is the frag. Kree with the wide peek and the clean headshot clears it up. Latvia with number 15.
Yep, and that's the thing, though. We're talking about round number 17, where Montenegro lost a lot of players. There are 4 of the players, and they were only able to pick up a rifle at the end with a lot of damage taken to the final player, Lobanica. So the problem is that after a few rounds will really start to weigh heavily on you as CTs, especially if you allow the T's a bomb plant or some extra damage done to your team. Nice double peek there. They're trying to use those pistols as well as possible. Obviously, CZ is super good at just peeking out, getting the kill, picking up the rifle, and getting the hell out of there.
Image now being applied some pressure. Artie going to be cost his life as he does go wide through the smoke, takes a shot to the face in return, and that's going to be now the man advantage in the way of Latvia. So the CT is trying to get aggressive to grab an opportunity, and instead it is them who is now the detriment. GG about to go through the smoke, also caught, but it is a refrag from Bark. He's going to grab one before he too dropped. Now a 1 versus 3, 15-4. This 1v3 clutch is for all the marbles here on Cash. Lobanica coming in from the back. Squeaky already clear, but Lucian still on the site, has now closed the door and will plant the bomb. So his position will be revealed the moment he makes some noise, and the moment he does, he is killed. That was the final round. 16-4 is the score, and Latvia catching us all off guard, taking the map pick of their opponent and taking a map pick off of Montenegro, which obviously was not expected from our analysts. A bit of a toss-up here in the first map.
Yeah, I mean, closing that blue door as well, Squeaky, was really, really smart as well, because you're expecting kind of a cheeky rotate from there. But that was just, in general, as best as it could be. Latvia really did extremely well, and I want to see what the tally is so far for the points between the analyst, the guys at the analyst desk, because we still have that tally. I want to see who's gonna win at the end, and so far it's not looking too hot for him, really.
But they did mention, of course, that it would come down to individual performance, and I don't think anyone expected Kree to go so big. So we will throw it back to the desk guys in order for them to break it down just a little bit before we head into the next map. But don't go too far. We will return shortly with some action.